We all need Canada's youth to succeed. We need youth to help design drones to put out forest fires and ensure artificial intelligence doesn't outsmart us all. We need youth to help cure the diseases we don't even know exist yet.
We need new skills
for a completely new job force.
But we're not prepared.
That's why RBC created Future Launch, to empower Canadian youth for the jobs of tomorrow.
Like people, businesses have their journey, their path, sometimes straight, but more often evolving, growing, and adapting. And like people, businesses' needs change, creating the need for knowledge in areas like accounting, consulting, and tax. Areas critical to your continued growth and success, all part of the journey, and all part of what we do together with you. So that when your business has arrived, it's ready to keep going. MNP, wherever business takes you.
Welcome to Python's Pit. Welcome to Python's Pit, Isaac, and congratulations for all the work you've done. You've gotten this far in the competition, so great job. As you know, you have 3 minutes to do your pitch, so I think you're ready. I know the Pythons are ready, so I wish you the best of luck, and the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, Pythons. When your car breaks down, you call CAA. Imagine a service like that for your bike. Most people don't have a way to get their bike to a repair shop, so my idea, called Bike Trip, is an emergency bicycle repair service that comes to fix your bike if it's broken down while you're riding. According to Stats Canada, nearly 50% of Canadians cycle. There are 540,000 people in the Halton region. Therefore, there are 250,000 cyclists that could get a flat tire, lose a pedal, and get stranded while it's out riding and could use Bike Trip. There are a lot of cyclists in the Halton region, I believe they could really benefit from this idea, as it would save them a lot of time and let them continue riding. We also don't have to do an emergency repair. We'd also provide a scheduled appointment where we come to the customer's work, school, or home, fix the bike there. This would fix an inconvenience for the customer, as it's very time-consuming, and to get the bike to a repair shop, and the bike may be the only mode of transportation. So, how does it all work? In an emergency repair, the customer will call a Bike Trip and tell us where they are or what kind of repair they need, and we will aim to arrive in 30 to 45 minutes in a van with the correct tools and equipment to fix the bike. We'll aim to fix the bike in 5 to 10 minutes and get them back on their trip. In a scheduled appointment, it'll work quite similar. We'll have a time and we'll come and fix the bike then. We also hope to develop a GPS-based app in the future. For the pricing, I would charge $75 for an emergency and $65 for a scheduled. Now, you may have heard of a company called VeloFix. They're also a bicycle repair service that come in a van and fix your bike, but they only do appointments. We offer something they don't, which is emergency repair. So with the money, I would rent a van, buy the correct tools and equipment, create flyers, create a website, and get a phone number and test out my service in the summer of 2018. For my team to start off with, I need 1 or 2 friends to help me with the repairs, and I will be doing the management, accounting, phone line, etc. If my idea were to become a success, I could have the possibility of making it a full-time company, as the bicycle market in the Halton region and Canada is quite large. So, all in all, I believe this idea could really benefit cyclists in the Halton region greatly because it's very time-consuming and also fixes the convenience of having to bring the bike to a repair shop. They could also get back on a bike trip with the emergency repair. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much. Good job. Well done. I know I've seen bike repairs in Copenhagen and Amsterdam, and you could almost be like the guy on the Tour de France following in behind. So. James, welcome to Python's Pit.
Thank you.
We had a really interesting day today. But before we get into what happened today, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. You know, I'm a self-prescribed mortgage nerd. We've got a small company here called Lowen Group Mortgages in Burlington. Really fortunate to work with 6 amazing people on our team, and we just have a lot of fun helping people with all things financial, mostly on the mortgage side, and that's a little bit about us.
How long have you been doing that?
It's been about 12 years now. Time really flies by really quickly when you're doing what you love. and working with great people.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Python's Pit, what attracted you to get involved with Python's Pit?
You know, a lot of what we do is just simply is the education side, right? We're involved in that process from, from end to end and just explaining and developing and working with people on that and being able to be part of the youth and their education and their process, anything that we can try to help impart to see, on their success. I'm just honored to be part of that, really, as well. So I've had amazing mentors from parents and teachers and colleagues and coworkers. I still work with coaches as well. I find that really, really important, and it's really influenced and helped shape me. So if I can, impart that and share and help our amazing applicants that we had today, then I'm more than happy to do that.
So how did you find your experience today? How do you feel about it, and what was it like?
I feel it's great. I mean, each of the Pythons, as brings such a breadth of experience and expertise as well. So having that, I think, they're very fortunate to be able to have that. The cast, the crew, the support, everything is such a really different and unique experience for me. So definitely one I've really enjoyed too.
So we saw some really good presentations. Anything particularly inspired you today?
Yeah, it was really impressive to see. I mean, some of these students were as young as grade 9, and I think of myself in grade 9 and where I was at, and I feel like these guys have just far exceeded where I was, and it really makes me proud of the youth, the diligence they've done, the mathematics they've done, the researching, trademarking, websites. Like, that's a lot of work that they've accomplished, and at such a young age. I think for many of them, the world's their oyster.
I know, and when I think back, the things that they're talking about, I would not have known even about at this age. So.
I think they were teaching me a lot as we were going too.
So they obviously presented, but what advice might you give them? Things they could look at and look to improve?
Yeah, I'd say for the most part they did a fantastic job. Each one of them had slightly different areas where they could have some improvement, which each of the Pythons were very supportive and commenting onto that. It's got to be difficult, right? Standing in front of the lights, the camera, the 4 of us on stage. So I think they did a great job. And, just like anything, practice, rehearse, and find that confidence to be able to share that, and get your story across.
So entrepreneurship, innovation, obviously really important in our community and in the growth of our economy. So how do you think Python's Pit fits in, and what's Python's Pit's role as it goes forward?
Yeah, I think it's great because it's fostering entrepreneurship, which I'm not sure if it's something that's always at the forefront and as an ideology of as an option, right, of employment. So I was very fortunate to be raised by an entrepreneur father that shared that insight and gave me that exposure. Without a parent having to show that, I don't know, sure, growing up I would have been exposed. So, seeing these guys going into high schools and the amount of people that are coming together, from the sponsors, from the cast, the crew, the pits, the students, it's really amazing to see all of them coming in together and fostering something like that and giving them the exposure, giving the mentorship and the coaching. It really, really excites me to see these next entrepreneurs of our future.
Well, we had an awesome day.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for participating, and thanks for being a Python today.
My pleasure.
Okay. Let's start with a question from the Python, and we're going to start with Sareb.
Very good pitch. Thank you very much for the presentation. I wanted to ask, you mentioned that there's a competitor out there. So what's the main differentiation? Is it that you guys will do the emergency service?
Yeah, so they only do scheduled appointments where we come out and fix the bike on an emergency if the rider breaks down while they're riding.
And how do you foresee, I can see quite a lot of people breaking down in a park area or an area where you may not be able to bring your vehicle. Is that something that you foresee, and how would you handle that?
So we have another bike in the back of the car with a bag full of tools, and we'll go into the woods or forest with the bike and fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great presentation, Isaac. I was looking forward to this one because I'm an owner of about, I think, 5 bikes right now, all different kinds. And there's a lot of different types of components on each one of those bikes. How would you sort of manage the inventory of spare parts and that type of thing?
So we'd always have a large quantity of spare parts because we know a lot of bikes break down, and we go to different stores, buy them, so we always have them in.
Okay.
I really like your idea of the app with the emergency location. I know if you're getting into off-roading and backcountry, I might not know where the heck I actually am myself, right? So I think that's a really good idea to bring in the technology side, right? When we're seeing a lot of the tech over the years, so I think that's a really smart idea. Any idea as well about bringing in maybe some medical supplies on them too? A Band-Aid or my mom to come kiss my boo-boo, something like that.
That'd be good, yeah.
Isaac, as I said, I have 5 bikes at home, and I'm not qualified to fix any one of them. I was just wondering, do you have certifications or qualifications you need to be a bike mechanic?
So there are no certifications or qualifications, but I will be testing out the repairmen, see if they're good enough to repair the bikes. They have to be able to fix many different bikes, and most things you can, fix a bike.
Okay.
Cool. And a great presentation. I love the idea. I mean, it's obviously there is a need for this for sure. My questions relate around the business model in terms of how would you intend to pay your technicians? Like, what would the cost of a technician be? Would they be salaried or subcontracted, this type of thing?
So we were paying them a salary per hour. We're paying them $20 to $25 an hour, depending on how good they are repairing the bike and how much they work, how loyal to the company they are.
Okay. So my next question is, so if Kelly drives into the middle of the forest 10 miles and wipes out like he usually does and needs help, let's say a service call, $75, and it sounds like it's a fixed price. It might take a guy 3 hours of time, so the company doesn't make any money. In fact, they lose money by the time they roll a truck and send the guy and pay the tech. How does that work in terms of a fixed price? Have you calculated out how many service calls you'd need or anything like that to see if this model actually could be profitable?
I haven't really tested much out yet, but I'd like to test that in the summer of 2018. But I guess if it were to go on longer, we would have to charge more for it, more for the repair.
So the 75 is just the show up and arrive. That's not going to cover parts or anything like that, right? We've got to assume that's going to be on top. What is the average time? Like, I've never fixed a bike before. What's average time to fix an average, repair?
Well, it depends on the repair, but normally 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. Yeah.
Most of the repairs you're anticipating are going to be tire related, that type of stuff?
Yeah, tire, chain, pedals, handlebars, stuff like that.
Okay, and your level of expertise, is it more on the business side or is it more on the technical side of the repairs?
Well, to start off, I'll be doing the business, but I do have a lot of knowledge in repairing bikes, as I've been doing it for years, repairing mine and my friends' bikes.
So if someone's bike's not repairable, would you have any way of getting that person home?
We would probably call them an Uber taxi, and we'd take our bike into a repair shop, fix it there, and let them pick it up when it's ready to be picked up.
And how does that pricing that you're talking about, say, compare to the VeloFix model?
The VeloFix do more tune-ups, so they come to your house and fix a bike. So the lowest is $75 for a basic, and the highest goes up to $200 for a big repair, a big tune-up.
One thing that, whenever I take my bike out in the summer, there's always that tune-up needed. So is that part of the business that you're thinking, that you would have like a spring or summer kind of blast where you can go into people's house and make their bike ready for the summer?
Yeah, if they book an appointment, we'll come and fix it and get like you said, get it tuned up.
Okay.
For the summer.
And what do you think that you need in terms of cost to start up your business?
Well, I'd like to get the money from you guys, the $5,000, and look to test out my service in the summer. I need to rent a van and buy the tools and equipment. That would be cost. That would be most of the money that I need, and to pay the salaries of my repairmen as well.
Is there still a need quite a bit, do you think? Is wintertime going to change this a lot for you as far as having someone employed that way? I mean, have you thought about addressing that, or is it still?
Well, we mostly do our service in the summer.
Right.
Because we wouldn't really need it that much in the winter.
Right, yeah. I'm just wondering have you addressed that at all, or thought any solutions on?
I guess we just do tune-ups. Maybe if someone, I don't know, maybe if they do have a repair, but we wouldn't be as we kind of let some of employees go and hire them back in there.
You just plan on spending your winters in Florida.
Yeah, that's not a horrible idea. I guess, yeah, go repair there. Yeah.
Have you given some thought to maybe partnering with like a bike shop, a physical bike shop, where they can help, promote your business?
I could get in contact with them, or we could bring the bike to them maybe.
Yeah.
If it's a big repair, they could fix the bike, then bring it back to the customer.
Yeah, because you have to give a lot of thought to the cost of your materials. And I think partnering with somebody who has a buying power will give you some more margin there that you can make.
Yeah, that would be good for our business to partner with someone. Yeah.
So Isaac, how are you going to get the word out there about your business?
Well, we'd probably use Instagram to start off with, because Instagram is a lot of people use that, and then we'd also have flyers that are placed around the Halton region, We also have a website. We run ads on it.
Do you know what's the availability of bike technicians? Like, let's say you launch this business and you advertise it, and it's so wildly successful that, you know, there's 40 people calling you in a day, and you can only help 3 of them. Like, how quickly could you build up a staff to make this successful?
I know there are a lot of bike shops, so I know there are probably a lot of bike technicians that could help with the repairs. So probably easily get some more employees if the customers need it that much.
So from other bike shops?
Yeah, probably hire them, or like one of you guys said, partner with a bike shop, so it makes it easier.
Is there many repairs that can't be done in the field?
Yeah.
Like, would you say?
It's like a big crash, or
Okay.
like something that like takes a lot of time. Probably send that to a bike shop or back to our bike shop.
Okay.
Great questions. Congratulations. You've obviously thought some of this through, and it looks like you're thinking through how to make this work. I've spent lots of money on bike repair, so I know there's money out there. Maybe just some closing comments from the Pythons. Sarah?
A great idea. I would say, start slow this summer so that you get an idea of what type of level of repairs, what inventory you have to keep, rather than, going full force and then having a lot of, waste in your truck, because that's going to be a big expense for you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And as a consumer of this type of service, I think it's a great idea. And I like the idea of a student-led and run company that might be more seasonal rather than the bigger conglomerate type of company. So the idea of this a student-led bike service is a good idea.
Yeah, that definitely addresses the seasonality on that side with employment. And I think, the idea is put forth as far as partnering with another bike company to be able to have their volumes of scale, so you're not putting out as much money into inventory, right? Because I can only imagine there's hundreds or thousands of types of bikes, right? Just trying to have all that. Your app idea, I really love that, as well as being able to know where you're at. And even if they've got a crash or such, I couldn't tell you what type of bike I have off the top of my head, but taking photos of what's wrong with the bike and sending that through the app so that you then know which types of parts and such, and to assess it before you even address it, right?
That's a good idea.
But keep going, man. This is a great idea. There's definitely a need for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great idea. I think it's great that your business revolves around something you're passionate about, and you'll be willing to put in the time to make it work as a result of that. And I think, like Sarab's concept there, I think take it slow. Be careful about hiring on any staff or incurring all kinds of costs. Take your time and test it out and really get a good handle on the types of scenarios and make sure that your model is going to be able to make money.
So thank you very much, Isaac. That was a great job, and I think you got a lot of good positive feedback and thoughts from the Python, so thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It was amazing. It was a great experience. I loved every minute of it. I've learned a lot more about the business side and a lot more about presenting. I've also made a lot of new connections that can help me out later on in life. So it was great experience. Yeah.